Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina show. I have got Corey Schoonover from the Fairfield Area Humane Society. He is going to chat with us about some things that he feels is important to share with you, as I do as well. They do a lot of great and amazing things in the community when it comes to the animals, and you'll have to watch and find out what he's got to share. Also, the Millersport Community Theatre, they have a production coming up, and they are going to share with us a little bit about that. And I also have, I think I wanted to tell you a positive quote at the end of the show, as well as what I'd like to go along with that positive quote to maybe help you give a recipe on how to make lemon shake-ups. I recently had my own experience with it, and I gotta say, it ended up being better than I thought it was gonna be. So don't go anywhere, folks. Lots of fun stuff happening on the show today. It's Down Home with Tina.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
You walked down the aisle and promised happily ever after. Sometimes happily ever after means ending a relationship. We know the conversations are not easy. Deciding what's best for you, your children, and your next steps takes work and communication. At Dagger Law, we know there are no monsters in a divorce, only people trying to find their way. Local, trusted, experienced. Dagger Law.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I've got one of my fun guests with me on the show today, Corey Schoonover. He is the Executive Director of the Fairfield Area Humane Society. Well, Mr. Corey Schoonover, how you been? That's a loaded question.
Doing great, Tina.
I know.
Awesome.
You are so busy with a lot of different things that you do in the community, not just with the dogs and the cats and any other animal that might be coming into the shelter, which it's not often you get other animals, right? Not very often. I mean, when was the last time? Because you get calls out for horses and things like that as well. We haven't talked about that for a minute. You know, the right way if you have a dog in a dog box outside, or the cats that run rampant through town or your village and things like that. We've talked a little bit about the cats.
We have a couple bunnies right now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. They don't like each other. They didn't come in together, so you can't have two
together in one
Not these
area.
Two together.
No.
So,
is that typical, or are they of opposite sex, like one a female?
No,
one
they're
male?
both females. They're both spayed. They just
don't like a company.
I don't know. It might be a dominance thing, but I'm not. You're
not a rabbit expert.
And I'm not into like rabbit street fighting, so I figure, you know what, we'll just
keep it clean.
The introduction didn't go great, so we'll just moving on.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not even.
So you do, because sometimes you do get calls out for other domesticated animals like that,
or ones that we weren't expecting. Yeah, I mean, we've had snakes, ferrets, fish.
How often do you get those? Fish?
Now that we've talked about it, well, yeah, okay. So we handle, with our humane officer duties, and really the only thing, this is, and most of your listeners, we do all kinds of different things. We have a vet clinic, we do all of those things, but the only function that we are set up for under Ohio Revised Code as a humane society is to enforce animal cruelty laws. So that's the only thing we are required to do.
But what do you do?
Right?
Yes, you do so much
But
more.
we do all the other stuff. We won't.
That's just stuff. Yeah.
We'll get back to that. But so when you're talking about the enforcement of those laws, so you brought up the fish. We've run into that because if someone's being evicted,
that's what I was figuring.
They're supposed to be out by a certain time. Court bailiff shows up. and hey, like 3 weeks ago, maybe I'm in a good mood.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course you are. You were on the Down Home with Tina show.
Fake it till you make it. We were talking about it. So
No.
Tina show requires a smile. I got it. And we're a little real too at the same time.
That's right. We keep it real here.
Maybe it started a few weeks ago. So we got a call from the court bailiff. He was there for a set out, but when he opened the door, he saw a bunch of cats. Well, he calls Dave, our humane officer, and says he thinks there's like 10. Well, by the time Dave was done, there were like 52.
Oh my goodness.
Cats and kittens in an apartment. So we were already at capacity, but we have no choice but to take on that additional amount, whether it be 10, whether it be 52. Okay? That's stressful enough when you add that on to what everything else that we're doing.
Yes.
But then what happens is, and maybe we can talk about the art of neighboring.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the lack thereof,
right?
Yeah. It seems like an appropriate topic for your show.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I'm the expert on that. But, so ever since then, when we're trying to, of course, we make room for those, there's that extra, and when you're overcrowded, that's just more work. It's like if you have too much on your schedule and you're feeling that pressure, that just bleeds down to the staff, right?
Not to change the subject, but just a quick question. Do you have any of those other counties or other shelters that will help you out as you do or have and done help them out, or not so? In a situation like this.
Yeah, no, and I don't think,
maybe they're not set up like you are to help them.
Yeah,
either,
and not because they wouldn't be willing.
Right, that's what I mean.
We're generally pulling from them to help them with their overcrowded situation, right?
Yeah, but it may not be able to in return just because they may not be, again, set up the way you are.
Right.
And yes, okay.
So, and I don't, and maybe it's my fault, maybe, I don't know. Social media is huge for us. That's
you guys
have
just done a really good
right?
job about the way you do things, and it have been for years.
I don't throw all of our business on social media. Whether that's at work, I don't throw all my personal business.
That you have 52 cats that are coming in like that.
No one knows
right?
where Corey eats and where Corey vacations.
Yeah, same here.
Right?
Yeah, I get that.
So, same thing. Every time a sick animal comes in, or every time we have a cruelty case or a hoarding situation or an eviction that turns up with 52 cats, we don't post that stuff.
Right.
I think more so because we're focused on the task at hand.
Absolutely,
and
that's
not
a big task.
answering those questions or whatever. So, but if I'm posting and saying, "Hey, I'm full. I can't take any animals," or someone's coming in the shelter and saying,
probably
"Hey,
because you have 52 cats that you just took in."
But I think the thing that kills me is when I do post that. So I've made some posts over the last couple weeks, like, "Hey, how many animals we have?" Like a week or so ago, I posted, "Hey, we're on emergency intake only. We have 120 some animals in the shelter, yada, yada, yada." Some of the comments that you get are basically, it makes me feel like you're accusing us of lying about it. Well, you only have this many. I saw 7 empty cages up with your cats. You can take more. Well, what you didn't see is the sick cat room in the back, as well as the overflow in the garage, which you've seen those things. So it's a matter of like, okay, do I change up what we're doing on social media in terms of, do I do a video walkthrough like, hey, but then that causes problems, because then people are asking, well, what about the one in the video in that back room? Well, that's not available. Just stick to the task.
I think that what you're doing has been done very well throughout the years. Keep it up. That if they have a question, when you're not rescuing 52 cats or 52 dogs or whatnot, you'll have time to get back with them. And that is said in a respectful way, because your biggest goal is for these animals, to help them when they are being mistreated.
Yes. And I think that's the biggest thing. I'm not bringing this stuff up to talk about it to like for boo-hoo, pat us on the back, but it's like I think people need to be understanding in terms of. I made a post the other day because someone came in. We were unable to take care of their problem. That's exactly what it was. And she cusses me out on the way out the door. She throws us the finger, like, and I went outside and I said, ma'am, what's the deal? Yeah. Like at this point, like I couldn't even finish what I was saying when she turned and walked out. But if she would have let me finish, then it would have been, you hold on to your cat for a couple days. We might be able to figure it out. In the meantime, here's some other resources. But people don't, and I've seen this in other businesses, and you see it on other posts, and social media can be deflating as well as it can help us out. But deflating at the same time. And people are so mean these days. Like, have you noticed, and this is way off topic, when I call someone on the phone or I go through the drive-through at McDonald's or wherever, when someone answers me and says hello, I ask them, how are you today? Before I even say my name, I say, how are you today? It's like silent.
It's probably like if you could see him, the deer in the headlights kind of look.
How do I respond to this?
It's a simple question. How I feel.
Yes, it's a simple question that no one knows how to respond to anymore because they're baffled that they've been asked.
Because nobody wants to know how somebody feels, it seems.
Like, how are you doing? Like, you know what? Thank you for asking. Like, I've had some people, you drive up, you can tell that they're a little relieved, they've had a rough day. You know what? Thank you for asking how I am today. You probably don't want to know how I am today, but thanks for asking.
Here's a good one. Have you had a hug today? Well, here's an air hug.
Yeah,
what do you think people would say about that? Here's an air hug for you, because some people are like, no, I don't hug. Well, here's an air hug for you, because you look like you need one.
I'm mowing my neighbor's yard the other day. I'm mowing my neighbor's yard the other day.
Yeah.
And someone's like, why are you mowing their yard? I'm like, number one, it takes 3 minutes. She's not home, and I'm gonna take care of it. Like, I don't need a medal. I don't need a pat on the back. No. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
Ask yourself, do you know the names of your neighbors?
This is so funny. My neighbor, I mowed my grass once, and I came home, and he was mowing it again for me. And I go, I just mowed that. He's like, probably.
Yeah.
But I was grateful because now he's like, he mows my grass all the time. I've tried to take him cookies, but
I
he's
make
never
sure
home.
too, and she knows.
Thanks. It's 3 minutes. My yard's 3 minutes too, so you know.
I've even made sure before, like the neighbor on the other side, like, hey, just so you know, like, is it okay? Like, I want her to know I'm not mowing your yard because it looks terrible, makes mine look terrible. Like, I'm just doing it to be nice, and you don't even have to return the favor. Yeah. It's just,
You're out there,
you had a bad day. Like, she's has 2 young kids. And she works weird shifts. So
I wish you were my neighbor at my other house.
I see her come home, and I see her like, oh. And like, I know when I walk in the door, my wife is very good with saying, how was your day? I'm not very good at like
saying it back.
I think she says it because she knows, like, I need to get it off my chest. Like, there's some stuff. And so
did she say, how's your day, and put in earplugs? I'm just kidding.
Like, like I'm thinking she's probably like, oh God, what did I just get myself into? So I feel like I'm not gonna dump all this on her. So
like, you go mow the grass.
Yeah, or I'm like, it wasn't, it was better than normal. Yes. Better than normal. She doesn't get to ask me how my day was. I'm just like on it. Yeah. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it feels like lately, I don't think I'm the only one. I don't think this is news to people that are watching. It's a thing, and we need to do better.
I agree. I agree. When you walk in, and especially someplace like the Humane Society, And
Yeah.
you don't know, because some people are. It's all about their situation that
Yeah.
they're in that moment, and they want you to fix it. You're the only one that can fix it, and so they just blame you for all this, not seeing the good of
Yeah.
all the others things
Yeah.
that you are doing
Yeah.
for the animals, and you're trying to. Because I know you guys have tried. You guys now have the little, I call it the little store in there, where you offer so many great things for the animals, cats and dogs. Some bedding. I mean, you guys rugs.
I just
you guys
put
have
together
so
a
much
little
stuff.
cat package.
You
With
did.
a litter box and a bowl and toys and a collar and a little cat wand.
Nice.
Like a
I
little
mean,
cat
things
package.
like that. Yeah. And then you have the clinic, which offers low price for everything.
Yep. So we didn't talk much about the Humane Society. It all
We
ties
did.
together,
Yes,
but
it does.
show a little grace.
To not
Right. What is
not just the
grace?
Humane Society and that art of neighboring thing
Yeah.
and what is grace, but it's in life period overall and everything that you do. If you happen to have to come to the Humane Society, show a little grace. To when you go out to eat,
You don't know what
somebody's
you don't
going
know
through.
what someone's going through or what just happened. Like even in the situation with us.
Yes.
I've had someone like came into my office to complain about one of my staff members. She flat out said, "He's never been like that." All right.
Maybe he's having a bad day.
He very possibly
And
just
so-
got ripped a new one from the previous lady and he couldn't wash it off fast enough.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we are with it. So show a little grace at the same time. Like we're there to help animals.
And you if,
And
and
we're
you
going
and
to
your
do
animals
it
if
until
you
we
can.
can't
Yeah.
do it.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Contact information other than the website's fairhumane.org.
687-0627. Leave a message. I can't call you back if you don't.
Yes. And they will get to you as soon as they can,
Yep.
unless they're out saving cats and dogs somewhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Corey, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Folks, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. We've got an event coming up at the Millersport Community Theatre. It's Down Home with Tina.
My name is Scott Duff, and I'm the director of the Fairfield County Overdose Response Team, and I'm here today to discuss Narcan. Narcan is the opioid overdose reversal medication. Narcan saves lives. We have saved countless lives in our community by providing Narcan to those with substance abuse disorders. We would very much like you to consider carrying Narcan on a regular basis. Narcan can be obtained easily in your community by reaching out to the Fairfield County Overdose Response Team at 740-901-1598.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
The Lancaster Festival is back. Dozens of free events and ticketed events like Sheryl Crow, Andy Grammer, the Red Hot Chili Pipers, trumpet virtuoso Byron Stripling, and so much more. Tickets now at lancasterfestival.org.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have Ashley James with me. She is one of the actresses in the upcoming Millersport Community Theatre. It is the musical Chicago, so it's very, very exciting. And they have a couple that have been on before who they are co-directing the musical, and I will let you go ahead and announce who that is if you would like to.
So our co-directors this time are Brenton and Joanna Whitstone Lavoie. They are doing an amazing job.
Yes.
This show has been a dream and a half. It's beautiful. I'm so excited for it. Yeah.
Aww. So what is your experience in acting, Ashley?
Well, actually, Chicago is what got me into theater.
Really?
In the first place. Yes. The movie, the 2002 movie Chicago, is when I realized for the first time I want to be like that.
Really?
And so I never thought I would be able to do it because I didn't grow up with a lot of theater around me.
Okay.
But I sang my whole life, and then I joined a show choir in my high school, and I realized, wait, maybe I can do this. And then Millersport Community Theatre, kind of an opportunity fell into my lap with auditions for Wedding Singer, which was
Really?
the first time I'd ever auditioned for anything. And I went in, and it was a beautiful show, and I've been in every production since. So
You got that acting bug, is that what they call
absolutely,
it? You just
yes.
went with
I
it.
can't stop.
So do you have a favorite, or again, is this probably about, you think?
Oh, I think if it isn't this, it would have to be Jesus Christ Superstar.
Really?
These two, they're both amazing shows, nearly sung through, this one and Jesus Christ Superstar being completely sung through. There's something about that is so, it really connects to an audience in a very different way than other musicals do. It's very fun.
Ashley, what is it about Millersport Community Theater that keeps you going back, do you think?
The people. The people, 100%. I was very lucky to find a second family there with Brent and Joe. They are some of my closest friends, as is the choreographer of the show, who is doing amazing work, who I get to call my best friend, Faith Kaler. She is one of the best people I've ever met. All of the people there are so welcoming and hilarious and so incredibly talented that it is terrifying to be on stage with them because they are such they're so larger than life, truly, and it is. I can't stop.
I love it.
I wouldn't. There's no place I'd rather be. Truly.
That's really, really, really cool. So you play, of course, one of the characters in the musical. What is that character?
So I play Miss Velma Kelly, who, at her warmest, this showgirl is ice cold, which is a very fun time.
So she's usually frozen.
Yes, truly. She's just...
Really? Is there anything, because you and I were talking just a little bit before we got started here, and I found it so interesting because I guess I've never actually asked somebody who is up on stage, what it's like being in front of a camera like I am and being on stage, which I'm terrified of being on stage. So yeah, it was interesting for that. So how does it feel to become a character, especially one like that? Is it easy for you to become these different characters?
So the best way that I've been able to describe it is you are completely not yourself, at least in this. I am personally very introverted. Things like this terrify me.
So you feel more comfortable becoming
someone completely different. Yes. So with Velma especially, it is so the opposite of who I am that
but isn't it fun?
It's so much fun. That's the most fun part. I get to be someone completely different. It's every emotion is gone. I don't have to smile, which is
you
very
don't
fun.
have to smile.
I just get to.
I wouldn't be able to do that. It's
really hard. That's the hardest part. But I get to go out there and have a lot of fun and be someone completely different, which is very hard and also very easy because you get to go, oh, this isn't me.
Right.
I can shake this off backstage, and I can then have fun with everybody on stage as a completely new person that everyone gets to look at and go, "Oh wow, she's crazy!" Like,
it's acting. It's all acting. It's
always. No,
yeah, right. I always know it's a little bit of crazy in all of us. The fun way. Yeah. How many actors are there in this musical? Do you know?
Definitely over 30.
Over 30.
I don't know the exact count. We have 6, I think, main lead and supporting actors.
Okay.
And then a huge, incredibly talented ensemble that is they move so cohesively and so beautifully that it's magic.
How long is this production to take?
This
for somebody who's gonna, the spectators who want to come.
It's about 2 hours with a 15-minute intermission. It is not an incredibly long show. It's not straight through. You get your 15 minutes to go hang out, and we have a lovely concession area, and it's a beautiful auditorium that we're in where you get to see the set and the stage the entire time. It's a very fun time.
Is it family friendly?
It is PG-13 for language and quite a few themes. It's I'd say if you wouldn't show your children the movie Chicago, I wouldn't bring them. But it's nothing too awful that a teenager would not be.
I understand what you're saying, because you want them to keep their attention during it, because then it could be distracting to have a young child that might not be engaged in something like this kind of production or musical.
It has very heavy adult themes. Is the only issue of there are very fun and exciting songs and very happy songs, but
it could be too much.
A lot of the themes can be very too much for the little ones.
So how do folks get tickets for this, and what are the dates and times?
So to get tickets, you can go to our website, mctohio.com, and there will be a banner at the top of the website that says "Get Tickets Now," with our lovely Chicago logo, with our partnership with Papa Booze this time. Very exciting.
Perfect.
For 7:30 on July 14th and 15th, and 2 p.m. on the 16th.
Perfect. So they get 3 chances.
Free
to get
chances.
tickets.
Only 3 chances. It's one weekend.
And the money that you guys get from these ticket sales and everything is what helps you to get and have the next upcoming production. Which, how often do you guys have these?
We have productions every spring, summer, and fall,
Okay,
and
so
we
3 times.
also it's 3 times a year, and it's one weekend only every time for a great show every time, beautiful set, everything, great cast, and then we have our Christmas classic.
If you've encouraged somebody that maybe wants to participate or become a part of and wants to audition, they go to the website as well to look and watch out for those upcoming auditions and things for the next upcoming production, whatever it may be.
Yes, absolutely. Come out if you're thinking about auditioning. It's always a fun time.
That's right. And come out and see what it's like. Watch one of the productions. This musical coming up, Chicago, 14th, 15th, 16th, you said, right? 7:30,
7:30, and 2
p.m. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to all of you guys. And I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Folks, don't
wait.
go anywhere. I'll be right back. It's Down Home with Tina.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
The Lancaster Festival returns for its 39th season, July 20th through 29th. Experience 9-time Grammy-winning singer-songwriter Sheryl Crow. Get tickets now at lancasterfestival.org.
Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. If you want to be a sponsor, just send me an email at downhomewithtina@gmail.com and we can chat about it. Folks, summertime, I think of refreshing summer beverages and non-alcoholic. This one is something that is fun that you can do with the kids. I recently had something that I had done for some people where I work, and it was makeup lemon shake-ups. And I rushed really quickly to try to find a recipe, and there are different recipes out there online, and maybe what we'll do in an upcoming episode is I can actually show you how to make it, but I want to tell you a little bit of what I did and what happened. And I actually had somebody come up to me and tell me that later on, after they had the lemon shake-up, it tasted just like the ones at the fair. Super, super easy. It's so easy that's why I'm excited to show you how to make it. But you take it's a 12 ounce-ish, just one of those cups, like a solo cup, and you squeeze, you cut a lemon in half, and you squeeze the entire lemon into the cup, and then you drop the lemon into a cup, and then you probably put about, oh my goodness, I would say as much sugar as you want to your liking, but not a whole lot. What we weren't measuring it out. We were just taking one of the 12 ounce cups in the bottom and probably putting about, I don't know what you would say, a little bit, maybe not, maybe half an inch at the bottom of that cup, and pour it into the lemon and get it in the lemon so it kind of absorbs into the lemon when it's in there, and put some ice in it and fill it up with water. Shake that baby up. That's it. That's all it takes for a lemon shake up. But with that goes along with the quote that I wanted to share with you is, when life serves you lemons, make lemon ... shake-ups, because it makes life a lot more fun, a lot more sweeter. And there you go, folks. That's how you can call it Tina's Lemon Shake-Ups if you want. Enjoy your refreshing summer beverage today. I hope you have a great week. Join me next week. God bless and good day.